Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and you all know me, it's Jackie, your Books, Bites, and TV correspondent. And today I'm doing a book review on a book I read over the summer called The Deathless One by Emma Hamm. I absolutely adore this book. I fell in love with the cover art the moment I saw it, and maybe you will too. So let's start with this brief spoiler-free review on The Deathless One. Now, my first thought when I saw the art cover is that it's so dreamy and ethereal and fairy tale-like, but it's not your typical fairy tale. It's very dark fantasy, and I think Emma Hamm did a very good job with showing that every shadow has a heartbeat and every emotion just sits under the surface. But let's get into the mood of this book. So if you're someone who loves stories that feel atmospheric and a little eerie, the kind where the world almost feels alive, I definitely recommend this book. It delivers that in such a beautiful way, and Emma Hamm builds that setting up. It's very lush, haunting, and strangely comforting all at once, and I absolutely adore it. I love romance and I love fantasy, but dark fantasy and romance really gets me. So let me dive into what the story feels like. I was really pulled into not just the fantasy elements, but the emotional undertone that runs through everything. The book explores many different themes like grief, identity, fear, and being truly seen. It's tender, and it shows that it has a slow burn between the characters that you'll see often throughout each chapter. Next, let's get into the characters. They're layered in a quiet and compelling way that I think Emma Hamm again does so well. They're both very guarded and hurting and trying to figure out where they fit in a world that doesn't always feel safe. And throughout the story, you're watching them slowly open up, even if it's just a little. And it's honestly one of the most rewarding parts of the book. I wrote down a few tidbits about Emma Hamm's writing style that I felt were pivotal to how the story flowed. Her writing style is lyrical without ever feeling heavy. She paints the scenes that feel more like folklore that is brought to life, like forests that breathe, creatures that are beautiful and unsettling, and moments that linger long after you put the book down, which they have, which is why I want to read this book again. I will definitely be reading it twice, maybe 3 times, maybe even more than that. Let's discuss who this book is for. It's definitely for me, with the dark fantasy and the romance and the magic, so I definitely know it's marketed towards me. But let's discuss who this book is for. If you like dark fairy tale vibes, emotionally character-driven fantasy, a slow burn romance that feels like it's earned at the end of this book, and or stories that just wrap you in an atmosphere like this blanket hoodie, so cozy, so warm. I think it's definitely worth adding to your to be read list if these are themes that you can get into. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Please read this book. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you've read this book, or after this review, this vague spoiler-free review, that if you're going to add it to your list of books to read. And if you love moody magical stories with a lot of heart, this book might be exactly what you're looking for. So thank you for listening to my review. I hope you consider picking up this book, and I hope you liked hanging out with me today. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye!